Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fathers, mothers, and brothers and sisters, and daughters and sons. I came here today without my brain, just kept it in the freezer, just without a script, and just to talk to you from my heart. Because my dream boy, my son, only son, whom I was dreaming for such a 26 years long life, and now today got married, became a man and husband, and beautiful daughter, Liane. I met you a long time ago. I welcome both of you to my family, and you're part of now a big united family here. Before I commence, I'd like to thank a person who is not here today, unfortunately. It's my father, who died 30 years ago. He never saw Vidu. He never saw my beautiful wife, Sandhu. And then, unfortunately, he passed away with a heart attack, and when I was 20. And since then, I had my own life battle. But I followed all my father's teaching he gave before he passed away. He had his own dreams, like everybody has their own dreams. Any father has got their dreams. And he taught me to become a simple, very sincere human being, and with fearless leadership. To succeed in life, you have to work very hard. These are the principles that he taught me before he passed away. And I can tell you, my father, today, I have embodied all these values that you taught me in my life. I have practiced, and I succeeded in my life. And we reach peace, joy, happiness with my lovely wife. And now we empowered those values with my values and with Sandhu's values, and we gifted to my son, my dream son. And I'm pretty sure wherever you are, father, you must be now happy to see the success we have achieved and success your grandson has achieved. Even though you have not seen him, wherever you are, I pray for you to rest in peace, and I humbly always remember you every day in every prayer, that whatever the comfort and luxury that you gave me in your power when you were living on the planet, but I'm so sad that you are not here today. But I'm very happy to say that my mother is here today in this audience, and thank you, Mother. And I always remember you. After father left this world, you became our pillar of strength. You gave guidance, you gave leadership, and you gave courage for us to pass through the very rough patch we had at that time in our life. But you gave enough inspiration with leadership for us to succeed through our education. And I was 20, I was in the second year university. My brother was first year university. My sister was year 12. We all, she kept united under one roof. And then somehow we managed to get through our life. So thank you, Mother. And always I remember you. I want you to live happily, healthy life, and to see your great-grandchildren, I believe, very soon. We will take that part. Right. And also I'd like to thank Sandhu's parents tirelessly. At 70s, they're working so hard to keep their three children happy. And Sandhu's sisters, and they're wonderful. They gave a lot of comfort at our initial life, looked after Vidu until he became a teenager. And thank you for mother and father and two sisters, and also my brother, Mashe. And I really thank you for helping us a lot at our initial stage in our marriage. And there is a very special sister. I got only one sister and one brother. They're the most wonderful human being I have seen in my world. And my sister brought another man. I don't want to call brother-in-law, but because I call him brother, right? In my world, I don't have any in-laws. I have either brother, sister, or father or mother, right? So my sister and my brother and my extended brother, Vijay, and we all are working together, even now in my present company. Even after migrating to Australia, we are working under one roof, and then we share all our life, happiness, sadness, ups and downs. As you know that when we pass roller coaster in life, they are together. We are together. And that gave immense strength, and that strength became my success story. So Vidhu has seen my life, how we manage it, and we have been very simple, humble, and generous, and we are fearless, and we are working very hard towards our own dreams. So Vidhu has seen and gone through this life experience, and that experience really molded him to become so-called Vidhu today. Right? And I need to share another dream I had in my life. Vidhu is not a normal boy, unfortunately, right? Because he was a dream boy. When I was at his age, in fact 25, this is about 28 years ago history, and I had to leave Sri Lanka. I got a United Nations Development Program sponsored scholarship. So I went to UK for my higher studies. And those days, from Sri Lanka, I left for UK. And then before I left, at the airport, my mother said, "You have to promise me 3 things, my son." I was a mummy's boy. I never slept out of my roof. First time leaving the country. First time going in a flight. I said, "Okay, mommy, whatever you say, I'll do." I said, "Okay." My mother said, "Number 1, you're going to be away from me now, first time in life, for the next 2.5 years. You cannot touch tobacco, no smoking." I said, "Okay, ma." Number 2, you cannot touch alcohol. I said, "That's okay, ma." Third one, she said, "You cannot touch any girls." I said, "Okay, ma." Right? What can I say, right? I said, "Okay, ma." So I went. 25 years, those days, young-looking man, all this gray hair, black, and right, attractive man. And then went to Leicestershire. I entered into a university. I had to study. And then I keep bouncing back on my 3 vows. Nothing else in life left over to do. I had to study, go back to student hall, study again. But every week, I wrote 1 letter to my mom, what I did Monday to Friday. And then it has a serial number. And then I post it, because those days we didn't have telephone facility, and if I went on a scholarship, I didn't have the facility or the luxury to talk to my mom every day. So I had to just write everything on so-called aerogram. That's the name I remember. I write and post, she sent me the reply. So we keep corresponding, and she knows what's happening in UK, and I know what's happening in house, Colombo, with my brother and my sister and her. Life went on like this, and then I was very bored. And then every weekly, I had to go and buy my weekly provision, my food, to cook, because I was in a self-catering hall. So when I was shopping, I was a man who was dreaming. I was dreaming, when I go back, my mother is going to find a bride. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have a son. Not a child. I'm going to have a son. My son will have like these ears, like these eyes, like this smile. I have been dreaming, right? And then I used to purchase toys, little suits, baby suits, coloring sticks, and lot of little toys. I collected them and put them in a box. And I kept the box under my bed. So now life goes on, and then I kept studying, and I completed my studies, and this box became a little bigger, about 5 kg, 7 kg toys now. And the day I finished my studies, I had to carry this toys box to London to ship out to Sri Lanka. So I carried it in public transport, double-decker bus, 100 miles. And then from London to Colombo, I ship it out. And after some time, that box came to Colombo. And still, I'm single. Now I'm back in Colombo and went and cleared it and brought it and put it under my bed. This is the gift box for my dream son. I don't know at that time where Vidhu was. But I knew that one day I'm going to meet this guy. So I kept the box under my bed, and then life went on. My mother started proposing, according to Sri Lankan culture, different brides, and I kept rejecting until I find this beautiful girl. And so this was my dream girl, whom I was dreaming that one day I will meet to make my dream son. And then I told the story to Sandhu, and we got married 6th of December 1987. And then she suggested that you should bring this box from your home. And Sandhu's father gifted a house for us to live, and we brought that box and kept it under our bed now. So now it came from Leicestershire to London to Colombo to our home. So now the box is there, and then life went on, and January, I think, or February, Vidhu conceived, and then 28th October 1988, he was born. So my dream son, dream child became my dream son, and that was Vidhu. Right? So after 1 year's time, Sandhu opened the box and then dressed him with that suit, and he was playing with the toys that I brought 3 years ago, and this is how I met Vidhu. Right? And then only setback I had, unexpected, unplanned, all the coloring sticks I purchased 3 years ago were dried off. That is the only setback we had. But other than that, everything that I dreamed became true. Right? So the lesson that I can give you is, when you dream it, and if you truly believe in it, it comes true. So then, since then, we became soulmate. 2 bodies, but 1 soul. We played together, we sang together, we danced together, we eat together. He goes everywhere with me, and he did everything. He just followed me. Right? And then I was dreaming about this little growing up child. And then I had to move countries. From Sri Lanka, we went to Pakistan. From Pakistan, we came to Australia. But every principle I learned from my father still remain unchanged. Simple, humble, generous, hardworking, fearless leader. This was engraved in my brain. And then we were working together with my little son, and then we were dreaming about how to move to the future. And since 10 years, I think since he became 10 years old, he was voluntarily helping mom to do the vacuum cleaning, dishwashing, lawn mowing, washing the car, polishing the car, and he just became, unimaginable, devoted boy within the family. And I never insist, Puta, can you wash the car? I don't need to ask. By 2 o'clock Sunday, he washed the car. And even without asking, he just polished the car. It was his passion. And then he's a very loving and caring boy. And I started to think, this is my dream son, and he's just growing the way I thought that he should grow, with the values I thought that he should have, which he derived from his unknown, unseen grandfather. And then I was dreaming, okay, one day I had to set you up in life. This is a daunting task. He became 16 years old, so life went on, normal, ups and downs. but he was integrated part of my decision-making process. Every haphazard or every roller coaster I go through the life, I share with him. No matter whatever the complex issue, including Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky issue, I just discuss with him, right? So I'm trying to show him what is right, what is wrong, right? What is good, what is bad. How you're going to integrate into the future society and become a person who can make your independent decision and find your destiny. Right? So when he became 16, he was in year 11, I said, son, now you are going to be a matured adult very soon. After year 12, you'll be entering into a university and you'll be starting your own studies and you'll be find your own destination. I said, now this is the best time for you to smell the roses, listen to birds singing, and find a girl and fall in love. Right? I said, but my son, this is a very responsible activity. You can do it only once. Remember your grandmother's teaching? No alcohol, no smoke. You can't touch a girl, right? If you touch, you own it, right? So then I had to educate him how to find a good girl. Because this good girl is one day going to be your wife, one day she's going to be your mother, your children's mother, and then going to be my daughter, and we are going to live under one roof, maybe very closely. So if you find the wrong partner, then I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer, and everybody's going to suffer. So then he asked the question, so how do I do this, Daddy? I said, very simple. Just follow your grandfather's teaching and what grandfather did. Look at grandma, how beautiful she is, right? How wonderful person she is. Look at me, look at your mom, how beautiful she is, what a wonderful person she is. Just write a list of things that a wonderful wife, wonderful mother, wonderful woman need to have. So we made a template. And then he had the template, and now he's in the market looking for a future bride and a wife and a mother for his children. So this is a true story. And then after some time, he said, okay, I found my girlfriend. Okay, I said, okay, let me have a look, and let me go and talk to her. So then he got a date, and I met Leanne. And then we had a chat. And then the moment I saw her, I endorsed, okay, this is my wonderful dream daughter. One day in future, we are going to get united and going to have a good life. So I said, my son, yes, you have done the right thing. You have ticked all my boxes. She is the wonderful woman that you need to have. So that was 8 years ago. And Vidhu was maybe 17, and Leanne was 16, right? They are just year 11 students and didn't know what going to happen after 8 years' time, didn't know what's going to what changes going to happen in their life. But I kept very closely working with my son. We selected VC subjects. We selected the course that he needs to do. We identify his destiny. He needs to become a civil engineer. And then life went on, and then the experience that we encountered over the last 8 years embodied so much experience in life and teaching in life that he matured over and above his age. So in result, and at the same time, we were thinking that we need to have some sort of income or the revenue generation or a company once he graduated to work. And then at that time, I was teaching at RMIT as academia. I quitted RMIT, then we set up a company, and with my son and my wife and my daughter, we just developed the company to the level we are today. Right? So, only dream we had, we believe on our own strength. We had a dream. we worked towards the dream as a family. My son was the first laborer in the first site which I started when I started constructing the first one or two houses. He worked as a site laborer. My wife was a cleaner, and my daughter used to come and sweep the new houses before handover to the customers. That's how I started. And then while we were growing, so Vidhu used to study as well as used to work part-time within my organization. So then after 8 years' time, we all came up to this level purely on one word, which is unity, love, affectionate, trust, and working hard towards a goal. And as a result of that, we all managed to come up to this level in life, right? So this is what really happened with Vidhu. And then now his life is about to take to the next level. So he's continuing his doctorate in business administration. I wish him well in his studies. And I welcome my daughter. I never call her daughter-in-law. In my family, nobody will call her daughter-in-law because she's a daughter for us and sister for my daughter. And the amount of happiness, the satisfaction I got by looking at his wonderful life, it gave me a lot of inspiration. He made me a very proud father. So I believe he's my dream son, as I told you. And I'm looking forward to have my dream grandchildren in future. And I wish you all the best for your future, and hope you have a good evening today. Thank you.